Today, I want to do a very short episode of the Marketing Automation Podcast. I want to keep it under 10 minutes so that I can give my network on LinkedIn a little video upload. Now, this week, I'm focused on Quora marketing. So along those lines, I'm going to answer the question, is Quora marketing a thing? Now, the short answer is, of course, yes, big time. It's a thing. The reason is Quora has, I think, close to 300 million monthly active users, maybe more at this point. Quora threads, the actual questions with stacked answers underneath, rank all over search. And Quora's audience, the demographic that exists in Quora, is highly affluent for the most part, college educated, very savvy people look to Quora to get their questions answered. So if you are in a B2B company or you have a personal brand and you want to further the reach of that brand and you want to also capture some credibility, Quora is the place to go. So the strategy I'm going to talk about is a thought leadership creation strategy, is a personal branding strategy. It works for anyone in the B2B space, any heads of departments or the founder. As well, it works for someone that's in transition, wanting to rebrand themselves from maybe a CEO of a company to a published author, for example. So what do we do? Well, step one, you want to choose a topic. How do you choose a topic? I look towards the keyword that I want to be known for at that time, and the time being a good window of time. So hypothetically, you have a real estate fund, maybe a hedge fund. You want to be known as a savvy investor for your potential client prospects, right? So you'll go to Quora and you'll start to type in the search real estate, and there's real estate investing that shows up as a topic. Now, there's going to be multiple variations of topics under your keyword. So pick one that has a lot of followers. This one has 102,000 followers. That means 102,000 people will be notified in some way, whether it's through their push notifications on their phone, through the general email blast, or through just updates in their newsfeed when you answer questions from a topic that they're following. Now, once you have chosen a topic, what you want to do is you want to scrape, or you want to have a manual team go and create a document, a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet, where you have a list of all of the highest ranking questions or highest followed questions or most viewed questions under that topic. What I have here is an example of just that. So you have your question links on the left, and if you're listening in, I'm showing a Google Sheet that has a column for question links, it has a column for total followers, and it has a column for total views of the top answer. And the next step here is actually to add total views of the question. And how do you get that? So once you're in a question, you'll see right underneath the title of the question, the total followers. On the right-hand side, the right-hand sidebar, you'll see question stats. So you'll see public followers, then you'll see views. Now, you want to capture a lot of questions that have a lot of views, and you want to prioritize them by views as well as followers. So you have a CSV with question links on the left, followers in the middle, and total views on the right. Now, how do you get that CSV? Through a scrape. If you do not have a scrape written, or maybe you don't have an Upwork account and you're a little bit savvy, you can go to data-miner.io and actually create a scrape that works on top of Quora's topic feed, and it can go ahead and grab those questions. Then you may have to do a little massaging to go ahead and get the data for the followers that you want, but it is possible. I use a combination of a custom script as well as a manual team to go ahead and enrich my data, because I also add to that LinkedIn profiles, I add to that email addresses, and I do some retargeting and some other work on the side. But for this purpose, for the purpose of this episode, we're just going to talk about building thought leadership under that topic and answering those questions. So now that you have your CSV, you want to go ahead and answer one of the questions. So what I do is I create a Google Doc. You can work in Word, but if you have editors, maybe you want to share that Google Doc with them and have them collaborate on it. So Google Docs is great for that. But the next step, you want to go ahead and write out your answer. Now, you do it in Google Docs and not directly in Quora under the answer because you want to first actually publish it on your blog. So these answers are great articles. They're great FAQs for your actual users or for your web traffic. So write it in a Google Doc, edit it for your blog first, publish it on your blog, and the very next step is to actually submit it to Search Console, Google Webmaster Tools. The reason for that is so Google will go ahead and crawl and index it off of your blog first and attribute that content to you. And then you have the ability to hopefully outrank that question thread with regards to your blog in Google search. Chances are slim, but more importantly, you have attribution of that copy. So you have an article in a Google Doc. You also have that article published on your blog. Now the next step is to reformat that article for Quora. Quora answers are a little more casual than articles that you write for a blog. First person, maybe you'd share an anecdote, make it fun, but make sure to add an image at least. Video is ideal. You want to go ahead and make it engaging. So now that you have your edited answer for Quora, go ahead and publish it to Quora under that question. And the next step, if you have a pod or a group of colleagues that all use Quora, you want to go ahead and share that link with them and get them to engage with it. Comments are best. Upvotes are obviously necessary, but get some engagement on it in the first few hours. That tells the Quora algorithm that it's a seemingly popular question, and it'll get closer and closer to the top of the question thread, the answer thread. So the next step there, once you have the Quora question published, is to finally go to LinkedIn and publish it as a post on LinkedIn and get a little more traffic back to your question. Frame it as, hey, I found this great question someone asked on Quora, and I thought, people in my network on LinkedIn would like the answer that I wrote. Here's a short summary of the answer, and then you can link back to Quora if you have a great profile in Quora, or link back to your blog if you published it under your name on your blog. Either one works, but the main premise is find relevant questions that are all under one topic, very important, and publish answers to those questions on both your blog as well as on Quora. Submit them to Search Console first, then go ahead and publish them to Quora. And if you have friends that use Quora, ask them for the engagement or get involved in a Quora pod so that you can get the engagement initially and help you kind of boost that content. All right, I think that was it. So let's see how I did on time. 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Great. So finally, I guess I just want to add, I did make some edits to my site. I did a whole new website redesign, actually. If you can, head to write2revenue.com. Check it out. It's RIGHT, the number 2, and then revenue spelled correctly.com. And let me know what you think. I'm pretty excited about the redesign. So feel free to comment. Let me know if it's better, worse, if you saw my old site, or if there are any bugs. I'd love to know. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to tomorrow's episode. Look out for that. That'll be a very special one. Thank you. Bye.